Imagine this for a second. You're walking maybe to your car, maybe around the block, maybe pacing during a phone call, and almost without thinking, you do what nearly everyone does. You press your hand lightly into your stomach and wonder, is any of this actually changing? Or am I just killing time? Now here's the uncomfortable question most people never say out loud. If visceral fat lives deep behind your abdominal wall, wrapped around your organs like insulation, how would you even know if a simple walk is affecting it? Because visceral fat doesn't feel like something you can pinch. It's not the soft layer under the skin. It's the kind you don't notice until your waistband starts pushing back. Here's the part that surprises most people. Your body can begin pulling energy from fat very early in a walk, sometimes within minutes. But when visceral fat specifically joins the process, depends on invisible internal signals almost nobody is taught to understand. Stay with me, because what happens next rarely gets explained. To understand when walking starts burning visceral fat, we need to talk about the true control center, your liver. Think of your liver as metabolic air traffic control. It's constantly monitoring what fuel is coming in and deciding what happens next. Is sugar still arriving from your last meal? Is insulin high? Are your muscles asking for energy? Should fuel be stored or released? Visceral fat has a unique relationship with the liver. Much of it drains directly into the portal vena fast lane straight to liver metabolism. So visceral fat isn't just storage, it's more like a warehouse built right next to the factory. And when that warehouse gets overfilled, the factory doesn't just slow down, it gets disrupted. Research consistently links higher visceral fat with increased cardiometabolic risk. Large exercise trials show something fascinating. Visceral fat can shrink even when the scale barely moves. Meta-analyses and long-term studies keep finding the same pattern. Exercise, especially consistent low to moderate activity, reduces visceral fat over time. And here's the sneaky part. Visceral fat is silent. It doesn't hurt while it builds. It doesn't warn you. It's like boxers piling up in a back room. You never visit until one day the door won't close. But your body isn't broken, and it's not trying to sabotage you. Visceral fat exists because your body is trying to store energy safely when it thinks you might need it later. So the real question becomes, when does the body decide it's safe to start withdrawing from that deep storage? That's where walking becomes powerful. Walking is one of the rare activities that changes metabolism without triggering alarm systems. When you start walking, your muscles suddenly demand energy. At first, your body uses what's fastest and already available: blood glucose, circulating fatty acids, small muscle fuel reserves. Fat burning isn't off, but it's not leading yet. Your nervous system ramps up slightly. Mobilizing hormones begin to rise. Your body is essentially asking, is this real, or are we stopping in a minute? As you keep walking, your breathing settles. Your heart rate finds a rhythm. Your body recognizes, okay, this is steady. Now fat oxidation starts playing a larger role. Mitochondria begin leaning more on fat. This corrects a common myth. You don't have to wait 30 minutes to burn fat. Fuel use shifts dynamically, much earlier than people think. This is often the first moment fat becomes a meaningful part of the mix, not because of a stopwatch, but because your body feels stable and safe. As the walk continues, burning fat requires unlocking stored energy from fat cells. That unlocking process is controlled by hormones. Insulin tends to keep fat locked away. Mobilizing hormones signal, we need fuel. During continued walking, hormones that promote fat breakdown increase even. At lower intensities, this is when fat release becomes more consistent. Muscles become more comfortable running on fat. Many people notice this phase physically. Movement feels smoother. Breathing feels easier. Here's the crucial truth. Your body doesn't label fat molecules by location, but visceral fat is more metabolically active and more responsive, especially in people who carry more of it. Visceral fat is most likely to contribute when three conditions align. Insulin is low enough, the walk is steady and long enough. Intensity stays comfortable, not gasping. That's why timing varies. A high-sugar meal before walking can slow fat release, Walking several hours after eating can make fat access easier. Walking too intensely can push the body back toward carbohydrate use. For many people, during a calm, steady walk where you can still talk in full sentences, visceral fat is most likely to meaningfully contribute somewhere in the 20 to 40 minute range. Not because 20 minutes is magic, but because the internal environment is right. Walking tells the body, we don't need panic fuel. We can use savings. Fat oxidation doesn't shut off the moment you stop moving. After walking, fat use often remains elevated compared to rest. Over time, this improves metabolic flexibility, the ability to switch fuels smoothly. That flexibility is a big reason walking works long term. Older fitness advice suggested fat only burns later. Modern research shows a more nuanced reality. You burn a mix of fuels almost all the time. The mix changes with intensity, duration, and recent food intake. Even steady walking can rely heavily on fat. Imaging studies show real reductions in visceral fat with consistent activity, even without dramatic weight loss. Short walks after meals improve blood sugar control. Better glucose control supports healthier insulin dynamics. And insulin is one of the main locks on stored fat, so walking doesn't just matter during the walk. It shapes your entire day's metabolic environment. So when does walking start burning visceral fat? There isn't a single second. It's a threshold, a moment when your internal environment shifts from use what's easiest right now to we can safely withdraw from deeper savings. For many people, that threshold shows up during a calm, steady walk, often becoming most meaningful in the 20 to 40 minute range. And the real lesson is this: walking isn't magic. It's a message, a repeated signal that says, we're safe, we're moving, we don't need emergency fuel. Over time, your body adapts, and visceral fat, the quiet warehouse near your organs, starts becoming less necessary. What surprised you most? The biology, the timeline, or the idea that your body is protecting you rather than fighting you? Share your thoughts in the comments. Someone reading your experience might need it. And if you want more science-based explanations without hype, subscribe.